What is the restoration of Israel? The restoration is a significant event that has yet to take place. And this event has direct impacts on our beliefs and on our observance. Despite the fact it is prophesied of repeatedly, these prophecies have almost been completely missed by most of us. So this is important to look into. What is the restoration of Israel? In order to understand that, we must first know, why do they need to be restored? What are they being restored from? At the end of the book of Deuteronomy, Moses tells the Israelites that he knows they are going to corrupt themselves and they are going to disobey soon after his death. And one can easily look into the next books, Joshua and Judges, and readily see that this is what went on. They soon turned from the way which they were commanded. And by the time of the reign of Solomon's son, Israel had become increasingly at odds with each other. And the nation became completely divided into two separate nations, the house of Israel and the house of Judah, according to the book of 1 Kings. And within a few hundred years, the house of Israel was just completely thrown out of the land of Canaan. They were invaded, they were defeated, and they were thrown out of the land, scattered into the nations. And they did not return, even to this day. And they have forgotten their identities. Soon after that, the tribe of Judah and those that were adhering to the tribe of Judah, so the house of Judah, was also thrown out of the land into the Babylonian captivity. We see in the books of Ezra and Nehemiah that after about 70 years they were allowed to return to the land of Canaan. The house of Judah was. And this is when we see them being referred to repeatedly as the Jews. They are not referred to as the Israelites because they are not all of Israel. They are primarily just one tribe, the tribe of Judah. The other tribes did not return, just those that were with the tribe of Judah. And soon after this as well, after a few hundred years, Judah was repeatedly conquered, and eventually they were thrown out of the land by Rome. Now we know that in modern day, they have begun to return to the land and have occupied some of it. They have formed this modern state of Israel. But they are not following after his commands. They have not set up the government that they were commanded. And it is primarily just of the house of Judah. The other tribes have still forgotten their identities. Even many of the tribe of Judah, for that matter. Even many of them have forgotten their identities. And so the people still remain scattered. And those that live in the land, they do not live in peace. They do not live under the blessing. And they have not occupied the land that was promised. They have not inherited all of the land. These punishments, which have repeatedly been brought upon Israel, them being thrown out of the land, them not living in peace, these were described in Leviticus 26 and Deuteronomy 28. And we see that in Leviticus 18, that if Israel does not follow after his commands, they are going to be vomited out of the land, as they have been. And the modern state of Israel has not considered his commands either, because we see also in Numbers 33 that if they do not remove those that are dwelling in the land, that they will be continually distressed until he does to Israel what he had thought to do to those dwelling of the land. Israel remains scattered to this day. Even the tribe of Judah, even those that know that they are from the tribe of Judah and remember that they are from Israel, less than half of them actually live in the land today. Most of them remain scattered. And that's not even to consider the rest of the 12 tribes. that's primarily just one tribe. Most of the tribes do not even know who they are today. Most of the people have just completely forgotten that they are even from Israel, and so they remain scattered. The people have experienced multiple periods of tribulation through the years, and further tribulation should be expected. Deuteronomy 4:30-31 states that in a time of tribulation, in the latter days, while Israel is still scattered, the people will find Yahuwah if they seek him in all their heart. If the people return to him and listen to his voice, he will not forget the covenant. And Leviticus 26:41-45 says, he will remember the covenants, including the Mosaic covenant, when the people are dispersed and they return to him. This is what we are nearing right now. Israel needs to return to him from our dispersion, from our captivity. We must return to his ways. The restoration is prophesied of in Deuteronomy 30:1-10. The blessing and the curse has been upon Israel. Even despite Israel being a byword among the nations and having repeatedly experienced suffering, they have also been kept alive, and they have been caused to increase. The blessing and the curse has been upon them. From this dispersion, from being scattered throughout the nations and having forgotten their identities, the people will begin returning to his ways. Then he will gather us from all of the nations and bring us together. And he will bring us into the land of Canaan, the land that was promised, all of the land. And he will circumcise our hearts so that we will live. The blessings will be upon us, and we will be caused to follow after him fully. Verse 10 tells us exactly what we must do to cause this. We must listen in his voice. We must return to him in all our heart and in all our being. And we must keep the written commandments of his Torah. This event, the restoration of Israel, has clearly not come to pass yet. If all of Israel had been gathered together from all of the nations they had been scattered, and had been brought into the land of Canaan, had occupied it and removed all of those dwelling of the land before them, they had occupied the land, they had received all of the blessings, and they had been caused to follow after him fully from then on. If that had come to pass, I'm pretty sure that we would be aware of it. It clearly has not come to pass, because the people have not inherited the land. They have not been assembled from where they've been scattered. The tabernacle has not been reestablished, as is promised in Leviticus 26:11. And the land is not in peace, as is promised in Leviticus 26:6. The restoration has yet to come. However, in our state of being scattered throughout the nations, in our state of having lost our identity, we need to return to his ways. We need to return to him and seek after him with all of our heart and all of our being. Deuteronomy 30:10 tells us what we need to do to bring about the restoration. We must return to him, and we must return to his commandments, the ones written in the Torah, the ones in the biblical law. We must return to his ways.